Hey y'all, it's Anime Kim, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 6th episode of Kemurikusa, and I gotta say, gotta give props to the writing stuff, because this was actually one of the better Kemurikusa episodes, because I kind of enjoy about this episode when you have Riku actually needing Wakaba. It actually feels realistic that she would actually feel tense seeing someone like Wakaba. And it's funny how her first immediate reaction of seeing Wakaba is like, oh shit, this guy's a red bug. And she instantly uses this yellowish Kemurikusa to try to attack our boy with like lightning. And you know what I like about that scene? Kind of like how it shows the slight development of Wakaba's character, because if we compare Wakaba in this episode and compare it to the Wakaba from the first episode, this Wakaba actually was able to respond to an attack that was quicker than the attack that Rin first used against Wakaba. Because when Rin used to punch against Wakaba in the first episode, thinking Wakaba was Red Bug, you have Wakaba dodge it, but the lightning attack that Riku used was seemingly quicker, so it was nice to see Wakaba's reflexes going up. And at the same time, at the very least in that situation, Wakaba's actually more active mentally in these dangerous situations. You can tell he's getting used to it, because immediately after dodging but pretty much scraping one of his body parts, he uses a green Kemurikusa to heal himself quickly, showing off that at the very least in these situations he doesn't freeze up like he kind of used to. So that's good character development in the front of Wakaba. He's becoming more mentally ready in dangerous situations. So that's a plus, and I kind of like how he was able to resolve the situation on his own, because I thought after seeing that scene, I thought someone was going to save him, but to see Wakaba pretty much end up in a situation where he kind of resolved things, because then he started to gain some of the trust of Riku after she sees him utilize the green Kemurikusa, was nice. And then I like how the conversation between Riku and Wakaba was relatively pretty interesting. How you have our boy finally learning how to use more of the Kemurikusa through natural dialogue, because he was naturally questioning Riku about it. So that was also another nice positive about this episode, because at the very least, he actually learns how to utilize some of the Kemurikusas, which is to just push on them and he can activate some of their abilities. So that's also pretty nice, because if it ends up in a situation where he has to fight against a future red bug or defend against it, at least he'll also be more prepared knowledge-wise to deal with the situation. So that's another really positive thing about this episode. Even though it didn't have a lot of action, it's good build-up and setup for future fight scenes. So that's nice, because if you don't have sequences like this, then every single time Wakaba would use a Kemurikusa, it might feel like an asshole if they didn't have this episode, at least the first half, to explain it. So that was also nice. And at the same time, I like how it even brings up some interesting questions too in show, like the kind of like the origins of the world, and like if there were people there before, because then after that he gets these reading materials by Riku, and that was also another relatively interesting question, because for one, at least now someone like Wakaba is gonna have those same questions too, and two, it also at the same time explicitly opens up the possibility that we might actually get to learn about their setting more, about what went down in the past, for all we know. So these were also positive elements about this episode, because even though it doesn't really guarantee that we're going to learn those answers, it at the very least opens the door to that. And I'd say in my book, that's a positive about this episode. Then aside from that, I like how Riku tells Wakaba don't say anything, because they're supposed to think that she's gone. And then I like how when you have Wakaba right before he meets the sisters again, he just keeps on reading and reading, and I like how he's slowly becoming smarter. But at the same time, it brings up a few questions. Since Wakaba can read, why didn't Riku, before she disappeared, teach the other girls how to read, like Ritsuo, Rina, and Rin? Unless maybe she did try to teach him how to read, but they didn't pick up on it. And considering that we still don't know the origins of Wakaba, there might be something special that allows him to read. And maybe learning how to read actually takes years. I mean, who knows? But this episode did a good job of bringing up a lot of interesting questions. But at the very least, it gave us answers in regards to how to use Kemurikusa. So, I like how this episode was balanced. It wasn't just questions. It was questions and it gave us an answer, but then it gave us more questions. At least for me, it's going to make me want to keep watching even more eagerly to find the answers. And then when he actually gets back with the crew, I actually like the amount of character development we get, because at the very least, when he gives them like a Kemurikusa to utilize, because Riku gave Wakaba Kemurikusa, I like how you have, at the very least, Rina slightly trust Wakaba even more, at the very least. And then when it ends off in the episode with them actually finding a water source, since the writings that Wakaba had say that whenever there's an old tree, there's usually a lot of water nearby. I kind of like how the episode ended off in the note, because for one, the little fog-like thing is a unique setting, and two, it should make a good backdrop for fight scenes, because since it's foggy, it's going to be hard to see if there's any red bugs hiding. So it could lead to some tense situations next week. Or next week could be a calming episode. Like, really, the fog sets up next week for either a calming or an epic episode, and I cannot wait to see more. And that's why I felt it did good from the story front, because it gave us some revelations and some questions, and I thought it did well from the character standpoint. We got Wakaba developing more, we got the Rinas developing more, and we got to find out about Riku at the very least a little bit, how she kind of has like an eccentric personality, and that's something I enjoyed from the episode. It makes me wonder if we're going to see her more, because I thought she left a good impression, and that's why I felt I did good from the character and story standpoint. Was good from the art and animation, and I like the voice acting still. So anyways, guys and gals, this is my thoughts on the episode. Come down your thoughts on the episode below in the comments section. Thought this episode 8 out of 10 worthy. Rate the video, subscribe if you want to see more reviews and reactions, and I'll see you guys later. Subscribe for more. Alright, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Bye bye.